Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Uniquely Me with Simone Stewart. Guys, I'd love to hear from you. How are you enjoying the program? Sure enough, you know it's season 3 and we are coming exclusively on YouTube. Every Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. a new episode is released, or should I say premiered? So grab those popcorn, grab your friends, you name it. And of course, guys, guess what? The only way you're going to know that we're out there is if you've subscribed and you've pushed the notification bell so that you know we are live and direct. So guys, what's going on on your side? You know, I'd love to hear from you. So head on over to Instagram and just let me know what's happening over there. And of course, Facebook. All right, so you know, here on Uniquely Me, we talk to our women who have been through trauma, struggles, scars, you name it. And what we have seen recently is a number of our women, and in dancehall in particular, coming into the church. And sometimes I wonder, you know, because we've been so schooled that tattoos are not accepted, dancehall are not accepted, pants not accepted, you name it, all the things that are not holy. But anyhow, on set today, I have a woman who, she's tattooed, she wears bright lipstick, nice hairstyle, gun girl, for want of a better word. Look here, stay tuned. We're gonna meet her when I come back.
Uniquely me is uniquely you. Balancing the different hats of life, achieving all your goals in the name of Christ. Uniquely me is uniquely you. You can do anything. With the S on your chest, you can do all things through Christ who gives you strength. You are a winner and you're an overcomer. You can be all things through Christ who gives you strength.
So, Heather, welcome to Uniquely Me with Simone Stewart.
Thank you for having me, Simone.
Girl, I can't wait to talk with you, or to just, you know, expose our guests to all of what we are about to talk about.
I am all here.
And I'm happy that you are.
I'm happy as well.
So, Heather, just listening to you and, you know, doing some checks, I know there's a whole heap to you. But let's start with childhood. Where are you from? You know, what was childhood like growing up?
All right, so I was born in St. Mary in a small district called Gettyston. Many persons might not know that district called, you know, back at St. Mary. However, I grew up with my grandmother who was a postmistress and also an elder in the Baptist church, along with my two aunts. They were teachers. Well, yeah, one is still, but one is retired. And so I was growing up in an environment where it was, you know, churchy, gospel, holiness, etc.
Yeah.
And education. So homework was a must, schoolwork, book was a must, church was a must. So, you know, I had to do recitations, I did Sunday school exam, everything about church and school was a must.
Yes.
And so there was a little time for really like play, etc. Because, you know, back in the days, old people, you know, they were disciplinarians. So, you know, really get no loophole for doing a little idling according to them. So my eldest sister was there as well. Yeah. And so it was more of a kind of tight, you know, you know, food was there. I was never hungry one day. Food, clothes, my family from abroad, I was a little pretty one according to them, you know. So I have the Indian look like them, I have the brown skin like them, so I was favored. Yes. So my family abroad would carry the all goodies, the clothes, the socks, everything. So food, clothes, those were not short. But I mean, emotionally to get that, to go play with my next door neighbor, there were two boy and girl next door, my age group, and we couldn't play. I couldn't associate with them because my grandmother, she was more like this strict, you know. I believe they were I believe Church of God. She was Baptist, so back in them time that the religion thing was really strict, tight, and then I grew up in a sense where prejudice as well in terms of skin color. Yes. So I grew up in a light black. Yes. Because them, you know, them gravitate more to the browner skin. Yeah, so I grew up in another environment there as well. So basically, even though, you know, the basic necessities were there, I was still somewhat unhappy.
Yeah.
You know, because my mother was living in Kingston with my other siblings. I was there with this bigger sister.
Yeah.
She's my father's first child.
Okay.
So we have a level of relationship, yes, but there was a tussle between the love that I wanted from my mother and from my sister. There was something really lacking. And my grandmother didn't give me that, my aunts never gave me that. It was more about chores, do your chores, do your homework, etc. So, you know, so growing up, it was a bit pressure. A bit pressuring for me, like, to enjoy my childhood days. Along with that, I didn't have the privilege to have toys like the normal girls have them dollies and them so forth. Me never get a dolly when me grow up. So I tend to now find the seller, because we had this eye seller. So I used to honor the seller most of my time. Honor the seller and used to cut out for the old school people, them Chlordo bleach. Used to find the bleach buckle and cut out the hand position and the foot position and then use the grass and me plait hair and me talk to my dolly them and have a piece of conversation with my dolly them, you see. So I was most of the time left alone by myself, because my bigger sister, she older. You know, I guess she was minding her own business because she never had the privilege for real socialize either. So I was mostly under the cellar talking to invisible things and somewhat me don't know how come masturbation coming at the place so. But I found myself start to funnel myself. It feel good, me don't know how it happened. But I started masturbation about maybe 8, 9 thereabout. I started it there. So my whole childhood days, it was really emotionally, I would say, damaged somewhat. You know. Mentally somewhat dysfunctional. There was nobody to really talk to tell what was happening, because you remember my grandmother is the postmistress. She's an elder. My aunts, they are teachers. So who would I go and say something to?
You know, it's funny because one of the problems we're seeing is so many dysfunctional persons coming out of homes that are supposed to be strict, having all the right persons in place, but yet we have so many persons coming out with so many issues, so many different abuse, so many mental issues, you know, coming out, because I think we become focused on status. You know, and as I listen to you, I'm playing back my own childhood in my head, that we had to fit a particular thing, because if your mother or your aunt or your grandmother was a particular hold a particular position in the community, you better line up.
I tell you. I tell you.
But how did you leave country to come up? Because it sounds to me as if despite what was taking place in the closet and under the cellar, you seem to have at the same time had this bright girl, noir stuff. How did you get out of country, come town?
All right, so I did come on in. Those time I kind of come on what we call it now?
What my son did, GSAT?
Right. It was common entrance then. And as you rightly said, yes, I was really a brilliant little girl, because I left grade 4 to grade 6. But I remember, as I said before, I not get no time to go play with no neighbor, etc. So I became a tomboy somewhat. So I would climb every tree you can think of except the big coconut tree, etc. I would climb trees. So common entrance coming up, I climbed the apple tree one Sunday. And I fell out because I said the big black apple now leave me.
Lord Jesus.
So I have a scandal bag on my hand, and me have half full, and me look me so one boundary, so the devil can't tempt you. And I picked that step on a limb, and the limb tear down with me, broke my ankle.
Oh my God.
So I didn't get to do any common entrance. I didn't get to do the exercise of graduation from primary school. However, I was placed in, I did the test to go to a secondary school, which was Portmore Secondary at the time. I was placed in grade 7-1. Now one stream, you have a bright figure one stream. So I did 7th grade there. But however, I was still suffering. There were things I wanted to participate in school where I was not allowed. Like, for example, I wanted to be a model. So, you know, I was very slim, or maga, you know, so I wanted to be a model. So there was this fashion show at school, and I would, you know, the training, but I don't know how to tell my grandmother said me in a modeling to become, say she a Christian. But I would do my training, and then festival would come in. I used to love recitation and them something. So that's why I love speeches. So I took part in all of those. I remember one day festival going on at school, and I said, Mama, me have to go. She say, you wash plate yet? You clean yet? You do whatever yet?
Yes.
And let me tell you something, I did not get to go.
Wow.
And a piece of rebellion started place in me sick. And I say, imagine, me do everything me supposed to do and she still prevent me from going. So I cried. Me used to cry a lot.
Yes, yes.
And then me used to think some things I want to kill my auntie. And I remember one time, I was so upset with my grandmother, you know. They used to tell me what I used to have dogs.
Yes.
Used to have, I love dogs. Used to have dogs, and the dog would, you know, mongrel dog would breed up with a bag of puppy them.
Yes.
So they would crawl, go way up under the cellar, you know. And now me the little mother one them say, my pet name is Dawn. Dawn, the puppy dead. Remember now, I have to crawl, go way up under the cellar, you know, with this stinking scent, you know. So every day one puppy dead, I talk about like 13, 15 puppies, you know.
Oh my God.
And I Dawn, the undertaker, them call the puppy dead, you know. So I have a bitterness I carry inside of me.
Yeah.
My sister was never called for, it was always me.
Yes.
If them say frog, come run the frog. If them say a crab, come run the crab. So I used to have a bitterness I carry inside of me. So one day, remember, she gave me the house to clean. And I clean, and she have a style for she make it shine like dollar piece. Because then the time, you know, 50 cents was the dollar piece.
Yes.
And me clean, and she come and say, you know, shine this. And I say, watch me here. My grandmother was a broad lady. And those days, they used to use crocus back to put at the doorway. And let me tell you something, Simone. I shine the place, you see, and I set the crocus bag at the doorway. And she said, because I mean, I'm a child, so I don't really know yet. I'm trying to be revenge for what I don't understand, said it might cause an effect on her.
Yes.
And I set the crocus bag at the doorway, and as she step in, she get one spread out. I remember I couldn't laugh when she said me, so I have to run, go under the sill, and I bust some laugh under there. And I felt like, yes, I was satisfied.
Yeah.
So there was no how long time I want to leave now, because I'm no longer happy. I feel like I'm in a prison. Me feel there was no sense of, you know,
belonging anymore.
There was no love. There was not what I want.
Yeah.
You know, and then I was a picky person with food. They might force me eat up. So I would normally throw the food. Even now I've had eating disorder. Yeah, and food make me fat. So, and then they were religiously with their cooking. Every Sunday morning, fried dumpling and liver or fried dumpling and callaloo. Up to today, I don't like callaloo and I don't like liver. Because it was a must. You had to eat those things.
Yeah.
One thing I love about them though, knife and fork.
Yes.
I got that training from early. Certain things, you know, you were trained. Certain things where you know, the upbringing, you have it up until now. So when I started to rebel now, it's like I don't like them again. You know? So it's like I just had to be there because I had no choice.
Right.
So back in those days, we never have no phone.
Right.
So it was letter writing. So my mother used to come and look for me like on holidays. But my sister now, she had gotten pregnant during school. So she had left. Okay. But I can remember that always say she ungrateful when she left. She ungrateful. So I said, me no want to call me ungrateful. So I want to go with my mother, but I don't want to tell her for them say me ungrateful too, because they really talk about me a lot. So my granddaughter, my pretty granddaughter. Anyhow, I wrote my mother. No, she came and looked for me one summer. And she said, you're all right. I said, yeah, I'm all right, mommy. But deep down, I wanted her to say, take me, I'm all right.
Yes.
So what I did, I wrote her a letter.
Yeah.
And I said, I told her what was happening. I said, no, tell my grandmother, just come for me for the holiday and the style.
Yeah.
And so I went with her. I used to go with her some of the holidays. And the first holiday I went to Kingston, which is Greenwich Farm. I love it town style because my sister, them have on them frill three-sister skirt. And them the things that women are wear. So I said, I want to come here now. And then now I can remember I was having a struggle with my grandparents. The people then they so strict is if they buy a school bag for you September, it have to stay till the next September.
Yes.
Now remember, so the things them now make so 100%. So when my school bag bursts out, I better hold a scandal bag.
Yeah.
And I remember now I leave from grade 4 to grade 6. So more books may I carry for common entrance.
Yep.
So when my bag tear out, I have to carry yellow scandal bag, black scandal bag, blue, because those times there were colors.
Because I remember.
So I have to carry different colors until, so I was really, it took a toll on me.
Yeah.
I remember one time my school shoes burst up, I have to walk barefoot. And I mean, my school is from one district to the other, and I couldn't complain.
You know, Heather, just listening to you, I'm sure a number of persons listening can identify.
Of course.
That life then was rough.
It was.
And sometimes I tell my children now, because they seem to think that they can pick and choose. And I keep saying to them that, listen, growing up, we never have the option of picking and choosing.
Easy, yes.
Right? I remember, I have to put this in, my son, the first or second day of school, the boy go to school and make them, him friend them throw the lunch bag on top of the school. And so daddy gave him a scandal bag. The following day.
Get a taste of it.
He did not find it funny at all. But you know, childhood days, it's so much fun to you know, to go back through.
It was really fun. When you look at these children now to us, even though I was more of like in a bandit situation, like Mr. Thief and still play. So we still have the shandy, the baseball, you know, cock up is a 10, the side things, the 1, 2, 3 red light, the hopscotch, the jacks.
Because it's innate in us as children, you know. But let's fast forward. So you're now in Kingston.
Right. So my mom now came and she told my grandmother that, you know, I want my daughter now, because I tell her not to. So she came for me, and I'm now in Kingston.
Yeah.
So my mother, you know, got me in Denhamton Secondary, now high. I went and I did a test again, and I was placed in 8-1. Now at 8-1, I became the prefect and the student council.
Bright girl, man.
Bright girl, man. So at that time now, I started to feature in journalism. I was interested. I wanted to become a journalist.
Yes.
So I used to read upon everything about journalism and all of them something. Then I became a member of the debating team, where we did quite a few debates with other high schools, etc. My first major debating competition was at the Jamaica Conference Center at 8th debate for Jamaica. Yeah. And so I was doing well in school until, you know, peer pressure dropped in itself.
Yes.
So at 9th grade, my friend at the time, my best friend, she was from Seaview Gardens, I am from Greenwich Farm. Yeah. She started asking me, see, I start to have sex, and say, you and my mother to kill me? So she said,
hold on, it's about to get Stevie in here. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Uniquely Me with Simone Stewart. And on set, I have Heather White Davis. Listen, she's about to spill it all. So when we come back, we'll hear more. What happened when her friend said to her, you know, start to have sex yet? And my people
you change anything
who are called by my name humble themselves and pray and seek, crave, require as a necessity my face and turn from their wicked ways. Then I will hear them from heaven and forgive their sin and heal their land. Now my eyes will be open and my ears attentive to prayer offered in this place. 2 Chronicles 7, verse 14 and 15. The passage quoted was God's response to Solomon's prayer, a sign to us that when we pray, something happens. It first gets God's attention by his eyes opening, looking in our direction, and his ears becoming attentive to what we have to say, no matter the disaster. If my people humble themselves and pray, God says, I will hear and answer and act. Prayer is our weapon and our access code. Use it. Blessings. Welcome back to Uniquely Me with Simone Stewart. On set, I have Heather White Davis. Heather, in the first segment, gave us the whole childhood stuff. And guys, if you're like me, it brought back so much memories. Under the cellar, can't play with your dolls, you can't go to the door, talk to people. As a matter of fact, were you told that nobody must touch you in your hair and you must not tell them your middle name and all of those things? But guys, we reached the part now where Heather had moved to Kingston and doing very well in school, but here comes the little nosy friend them. And so Heather, you were just about to tell us how your friend come ask you, say, what go on? No sex yet? So talk to us.
So remember I told you I was slim, petite. And so I was a late starter in terms of, you know, in the breast, I was a flat chest. So she would come and say, you know, start to have sex. So I say, yeah, because my mother now, you know, my stepfather would call her the prison warder. So she not run joke. So I was like, yo, my mother killed me. So she said, oh, she gonna know. So now I became somewhat curious because, you know, she started telling me, oh, You know, when the boyfriend this and that, so I want to feel in the something there too.
Yes, yes.
So I remember now, me had no breast, so I don't know if so when I went to the country now for holidays, I could not go to the river at my grandmother, so me find my other grandparents, them, and me go river. Because I was told back in the days that there's something at the river, I don't remember the name right now, so if you put a little black insect on your breast, your breast are going to get it will start growing.
That's
so
a new one.
Yes, so me now start to investigate. So what is something name? I don't remember the name now, but for those who back in the days of country, they will know me I talk about. So me find the river, me start search for the something them tell me, so I find the put on breast, nothing now bite me, so no breast still not come. Anyhow, long and short, I start to feel a little lump in my right breast. I mean, I start to say what they say now. So my sister, who is 1 year younger than me now, she was more advanced. She went to Arden High School, so she know everything. She say, you know, your breast are bust. You know, say your breast are bust. So I said, oh, so I was so happy because I well want to feel how breast sucking feel.
Yes.
So I remember the one breast come up, the next one not come up yet. And I remember my elder sister was there with some, she had to take her trainers now. So I stuff one with tissue because I want to sister me I wear brassiere too. You know, so I would not participate in like sport because me feel somewhat, you know, lower self-esteem, whatever. Anyhow, when the two breasts then come up and now me start to walk a certain way now, and me start push up because me want boy if you see me now say whatever.
Yes.
And so I remember in my community, the Don in my community, he used to sit on my wall. So I used to live in a yard where two of us, my mother and the next lady, share tenancy there. So I remember going to shop. You must say, me I grow you, you know. Some say grow me. So you know, somewhat me have a little face in this, but me still have a little, you know, because me want the experience and my friend tell me about it. So more somewhat, you know, I said the face in this, but behind the face in this, me really want whatever. So he used to tell me every day, so me I grow until me start to get interested in the growing. So I remember one day, him send one of him, send out them, send he come and say, Dean said for give, so I look at $50. Now I get $20 a week for my lunch money. I had to walk from Greenwich Farm to the Downtown to school. And I get 50 now upon the 20. So you know, I feel like say I eat this.
Yeah man, you're just rich.
So now at school, I not buy no banana chips again and bag juice. I now start to buy the little box food, $5 box food or the $10 one and box drinks. And you know, start to walk go downtown and I start to buy cupcakes in the mothers and I start do. So, you know, girl now start to step up in the fitting in now.
Yes. How old were you then?
I was 14, going to 15, because my breast come out at 14. And I started menstruating at 14.
Yeah.
So I was now going into 15.
Yeah.
So I remember now every evening me get me $50 and I said me start feel now say yes, no girl start and my friends start to now tutor me and tell me say when he call you this, that, so me start to take the tutoring now and but I was never, my focus was not shifted from my schoolwork though, you know.
Right.
I still maintain my good averages. I still do well in school, but at the same time, a curiosity them I want to satisfy that. So I remember one day, he said to me, I must stop by his house when I'm going to school. This other little girl walked with me in I was in grade 9, she was in grade 8, so she walked with me and said, yeah, my mother, Peter Gay. And I was going to school today with her, so she stopped with me and I stopped by him. When I reached now, remember now, him had done you know. So when I got him now, where you are go to she? So I said, you mean when she got my friend stop with me, you're not going to school today? I said, I focus going to say, no, you're not going to school today, you go on. Remember, so they done this now, so she not have nothing else but to go. So she gonna leave me, no me I wanna know what go on. So me go in and me sit on the bed and they start touch me, you know. For the first, me I shrink up my shoulder, but me kind of fearful, but me still want to know what go on, you understand? Never understand, so this thing I get really, really deep, you know, and serious. Anyway, the little petting and the kissing started, and in fact, the sucking and breast was really what she was telling. It was really sweet what she told me about. But when they reach the party and know for the sex, me love, when me see the man take off him clothes, me start tremble. Because me say, what is it now, God? Worse when I saw what he possessed down there, me say, Lord God, what is it now? So I told him I had my boyfriend already and I was sexually active. So now him think that somebody this way I have sex. So you know, in a city, a ghetto. So it is expected some girls certain age start have sex already.
Right.
So my love, when not the party now, whatever, forgot him, I say, you a virgin? So I'm like, yes. And it was like, thank God,
Oh,
me get
Jesus.
my wife, me this, me that. Anyhow, the ordeal was one where, I mean, it was really awful.
Yeah.
You know, my first,
Yeah.
it was really awful.
Yeah.
And still worried and scared, so me I go home, my mother go know something, I know all about it in my head, my mother go find. However, I went home and went to the bathroom and all of that. So my virginity took at the age of 15.
Yeah.
And, you know, I didn't go back until maybe like a month or two because the ordeal, I couldn't manage that. So, but I still feel good enough for my boss. So, you know, my boss come and tell my friends, say my boss and all of that, so I now become, you know, in the league now become a boss. And so, you know, I developed like I'm a man.
Yes.
You know, even though I had to hide it from my mother.
Yeah.
And I remember my sister now, she older than me at the time. She used to go back and forth to St. Mary with fair baby father. So one day in particular, she came there like the weekend and I forgot for my lunch money. So now my baby father, not my baby father yet, my man, now we live on 4th Street. He lived on 4th Street as well, across from where my mother lived.
Right.
But they have a house on 5th Street as well.
Right.
So what they did is they make a fence through the yard at 4th Street that we can go across. So I went for my lunch money and my sister saw me coming from out of the yard and she said, "You're going to make mommy kill you." No, when my mother beat her one arm or something, always. She used the grey electrical cord from where they use string up box.
Yes.
Rubber, like she cut the tire, the
Yes.
rubber, some box and kick and thump.
No, Jesus.
So, and that's something you really want to encounter. So I said, me not take none of this. Because remember now, me have a sense of me, you know, me
Right.
boss you know,
You've arrived.
So I just, when she said she would tell me, I just went to school, me never go home, me go straight at my man yard.
Okay, now.
So right there and then, so I said, me not go, me say, you sure this is what I say, yes, me not go, because me not take none. And then I was there for like maybe 3 days and then I start miss more and go my yard.
So hold on, Heather, because this is really getting deep. Your mom didn't realize after 3 days, well, after the first
Yeah, man,
day,
she did realize.
that you're not home and
She
stuff?
did realize, but my sister told her.
Oh.
She tell her, she said, me I come from Aberdeen, yeah. Remember, I
Okay.
said, the Danny I talk about you now. No, my mother one, them old bad man from country, you know. Even though she live in Kingston for a while, but she not take talk neither, you know.
Right.
So, I believe when she heard where I was, she said she a big man, I could see what I go on. I believe.
Yeah.
So, the 3 days now come, Mr. Moanga my yard. So, I tell him, Moanga go home. So, I start crying, Moanga my yard. He said, all right. So, he sent one of his send-outs. So, tell her mother that she had come. The message my mother sent back was, tell her she had drink mad post space. Come on my gate. He said, what we are going to do? So, Mr. Moanga, I kept on crying until I stopped crying. Anyhow, so I live in now with man and I go school. Nobody at school know nothing at all and whatever. I remember one night I was by his house and now I hear cream and now because at the time I naturally hear my house. You know, I live with man and now I'm a bigger man. So I hear cream and I used to have long hair.
Yeah.
Hair long and on, you know, start make cut bang and all these things. I wear belly skin. All of them stuff.
Broke out.
So I remember now, but I couldn't go road same way because you know what Danya there with.
Yeah.
See, if I still know, say the Danya can't load up the things same way. You have to, you know. I remember then at the house one night, he wasn't there. I mean, I fixed up my ear or whatever. I hear the door knock. I hear police.
No.
I say, what? You know, because my first encounter this, I know, so I say, what is? Anyhow, I put it down, I went outside and the police said, we come for my mother was at the gate. And they took me and they came to the Hornsby station. My cousin was the inspector, I believe, at the time, or the superintendent, whatever, at the station at the time, Hornsby. And my mother started asking, see the little girl and whatever. And he was like, look at you little and pretty. Oh, you get caught up in this with bad man business, yeah. Me not talk no, because my money I talk, but you know, I mean, I give up my money now. So me sit down there, little pretty me, and never ask me, where you put the gun? Me say, I don't know of any gun.
So let me ask you, because we definitely have to do a part 2. Were you aware of him having a gun?
Then I done. Of course I knew.
Okay.
But I mean, if you tell us my man have gun, if you come kill my man, I take my man, me not attack.
So Heather, so the thing is, having gone in, because in my head I'm wondering, you seem to have just come in on the scene, but weren't there other women? Weren't there other young girls? Weren't you feeling that, hey, or how is it that you just moved to the state of just being woman a yard?
To be honest with you, Simone, I have never seen him with a woman. I mean, no, he must have. I've never heard anybody come on the gates. I've never been through no form of them something there. Me and one of them women used to fight about no man or them something there. Me never have mate any counter. Me don't know them something there. I was his preps according to him. Okay. Because remember now I'm virgin girl, this and now. And then he had to live a lifestyle of Africa and I hide. To and fro, etc. So I was the one, anywhere they were there back him. If I all building them sleeping on me in there with him. If I all stop me up there with him, anywhere. Wow. So I was always there with him. I've never had a running with a woman or a girl. Never seen any, never heard of any. Wow. But I know before me there must have been. Because I did one sweet, tall, brown, half Indian.
So you said what happened to him?
Well, he died.
While you guys were still together?
No, man. Long afterward. Long after all of this, getting pregnant, having my first child, I had to run away from him because you know the badness take a toll, you know. And, you know, me start fear for my life. My mother moved from Greenwich from fearing of her life. And
when I want you to hold that because I want us to talk a little about that. But just before we go, how did the tattoo start?
Oh, the tattoo come when me bust out all of this, you know, big woman, you know, mature enough now to know that, you know, whatever. So I leave from that scene now and came into the dancehall scene now. And, you know, the dancehall scene, I have an image. And so my first tattoo, I did my first tattoo, I think, 97. 1997, I did my first tattoo in, what the arcade they name a town, everybody looked up. Pernell Charles Arcade. I went and I did a lion because I'm a Leo. So I did a lion on my foot, my first tattoo. And from there, that's how I started with the tattoos. You know, I became dancer. I became a proprietor because I had 2 bars. Right.
There is so much more that we're going to dig into. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, I know you're sitting on your seat and saying, why Simone cutting, why Simone cutting? But like you know, we go for half an hour, but we're coming back next week with another episode of Uniquely Me, and Heather is going nowhere. So we're going to get the scoop. How did this baby come about? How she switched gone to bar and the whole works. And of course, how is it that she's now running around doing reshuffle conference and telling everybody, come, see a man. His name is Jesus. Stay tuned. See you next week.
Who am I really? Choices, choices, choices. In pursuit of a career? OMG, I'm a wife. Help, I am a mother. Oh, I'm in church. When do I get to be a woman that God called me to be? Uniquely Me covers the acrobatic endeavors of every woman to balance the responsibilities of being a mother, a wife, a professional, a church leader, a friend, yet still maintain her identity. I too am a mother, a wife, a trained minister of religion, a banker, an entrepreneur trying to balance the many hats that signifies my role. My book will help motivate and empower every woman who is really unique in her own way. Grab your copy today on Amazon because Uniquely Me is uniquely you.
Thank you for tuning in to Uniquely Me with Simone Stewart. Remember, Uniquely Me is uniquely you.